Unit 5, test number 3, practice test quadratic equations. Question number 8 says put the equations into vertex form. I have standard form here where I have x squared, I have x, I have 5, I have no parentheses, I have no like terms. I need to change that to the vertex form, which you can see in questions 9 and 10. The vertex form has a binomial squared. In order to get a binomial squared, I need to have a perfect square trinomial. To get a perfect square trinomial, I'm going to take this and get my x squared and my x by themselves. I need to isolate that before I can find a perfect square trinomial. The first thing I have to get rid of is my 5. And I'm going to temporarily park it on the other side. Okay. Now I got this 2 out here. That complicates factoring. It complicates anything. It's nice to have a 1 next to my x squared term. I'm going to achieve that by dividing both sides by 2. And that's going to give me y minus 5 over 2 equals, I divide 2 into both of these, x squared minus 2x. Okay. Now I can take a look at this and see what I need to do to get my perfect square trinomial. As we saw when we completed the square, I need to have half this number squared over here. So I'm going to take negative 2, divide by 2. That gives me negative 1. I'm going to square negative 1. That gives me positive 1. So I need to have a positive 1 here. So I'm going to add 1 to both sides. I'm going to squeeze it in over here. Now, once again, I factor this. And hopefully by now you realize if you factor it, you get x. I'm going to write this lightly because I'm going to erase it. X here. I need to get a positive number, so I either need 2 negatives or 2 positives. But when I add, I need to get a negative number, so I know that I need 2 negatives. And now I look at 2 negative numbers that multiply to give me 1. The only way I can do that is to multiply negative 1 times negative 1. I need those 2 numbers to add up to negative 2, and negative 1x minus 1x does in fact give me negative 2x. So by adding this 1 here, I did create a perfect square trinomial. I can factor that to give me my binomial. So instead of writing x minus 1 times x minus 1, I write x minus 1 squared. And that's going to equal y minus 5 divided by 2 plus 1. Now I need to bring everything back over. That's a little bit complicated. So I subtract 1 from both sides. Y minus 5 divided by 2 equals x minus 1 squared minus 1. Now I multiply both sides by 2. I have to multiply everything here by 2. So I have y minus 5 equals 2 times this. I distribute my 2 times this entire thing. I have 2x minus 1 squared. I distribute my 2 here, minus 2. Now I add 5 to both sides to get the y by itself. And I'm going to squeeze it in down here. Y equals 2 times x minus 1 squared plus 3.